If we continue like this, if we continue this way, the prophecy of Professor Cheno Achebe will one day come to pass. There was a country. There was a country. That prophecy will one day come to pass. You know, when all these educationists or academia wrote what they wrote in the past, we don't see them manifest. But now, all those things they saw and they wrote about, they are finding expression. Not only the academians, what of African China, who talk about lead us where? You are welcome to another segment of my video. This is Gist with K, a YouTube channel where we discuss matters of national importance. Today, I want to ask some questions on what is going on the issue of fuel in our country. What is actually going on? Did we do anything wrong to have the kind of leaders we have? Where did we get it wrong? I know I made a video on fuel scarcity around March, and I said in that video, before the end of this year, that fuel may get to 1,000 naira per liter. And I said it's not prophecy because I'm not a prophet of doom, but it's looking as if that word is gradually coming to expression. Where did we get it wrong? Where exactly did we get it wrong with our leaders? Because the way things are going on in this country is looking as if they are coming to pay back, whether we wrong them or our fathers or our guardians or parents wronged them in the past, and they are coming back to pay the children for what their parents did to them. If I may ask, is there anything we did wrong to this administration and the administration that handed over to this one? Is there anything we did wrong? You came into power when fuel was sold at 65 naira per liter. You move it from 65 to 165. We are still doing it with every amount of, okay, let's go, nothing there. We didn't revolt. We didn't rebel against your government. We are obedient to what you are doing, to your rules and regulations, even the ones we don't like, but we don't have any choice to obey as good citizens of the country. Where did we get it wrong? Earlier this year, you moved the price of fuel from 165 to 200 and something. You first moved it to 180. We are there, what happened? 180, okay, the gap was not much. Before we know, fuel skyrocketed out of hand, 5 something. And you say, okay, benchmark now is 220. I think that was the past administration that handed over to this one. From the benchmark, just on the day of inauguration, 29th May, on the day of inauguration, one of the inaugural speeches that was made that day was the subsidy will be removed. All of a sudden, the implementation took place immediately. On that ground, NNPC changed their prices, other independent marketers changed their prices. All of a sudden, from subsidy will be removed to artificial scarcity, from artificial scarcity to 511 naira per liter. And some independent marketers, we are still selling 600, 550. That wasn't enough. From the day one this current administration assumed office, they came with a warning signal. And that warning signal is, if you are not with them, you will suffer. What do I mean? From the day one you made your inaugural speech, we started experiencing high cost on fuel. You said the subsidy has been removed. The same subsidy that has been removed The fund generated from that removal of subsidy, I also heard in the news through this government saying the money, they don't know where the money has been credited or the channel or what the money is being used for. Still on that, we had on the news also, you can verify it online, that 400 billion has been recovered, has been saved from subsidy. 400 billion. And in that 400 billion that has been saved, that this is the money that is being paid to all these gladiators, that government paid them. Government have saved this money thought far. You didn't use this money that you have saved thought far to better the life of your citizenry, or to put it into things that will make things work out for your citizenry. Today, we just came out from a meeting. One of us just said, they just some minutes ago, they said the price of this has changed from 511 officially to 611. And all of us in the meeting was like, what? How? We boarded a cab. To my amazement, the driver of the cab told me, he said, Oga, why you not they increase the price of fuel now? I say, how? This thing was just announced, not up to 30 minutes. It happened. We are in the meeting room, in the conference room. As soon as we left the room, somebody said, see, the new announcement. The person said to me, why you not they increase the prices of fuel? I say, how? He said he's just coming out from filling station now, that he bought 599 naira per liter. I was like, are you sure? He said yes. I said, okay. We keep on moving. By the time we alerted, I entered my car, drove down to nearby filling station. I saw a lot of queue. When I saw queue, my mind was like, wow, maybe the price has dropped, or people are rushing to buy so that if they want to implement this news I heard, it won't be. Not knowing that the independent marketers have changed their pump price immediately. When it have to do with things that the citizenry will suffer, you see quick and effective implementation. But when it comes to do with things the citizenry will benefit and enjoy from, nobody cares to implement it. Rather, they will start shifting it. Give it 3 months, let's test run it. But this one that will impose pains, agony, and tears on the citizenry, look at how fast it's being implemented. You go to filling station right now, all the filling station in town, some are selling 600, some are selling 611, some are selling 608. The cheapest you can buy from any filling station currently is 599 naira. Where did we wrong this new APC government? And in my heart, I believe these things has been planned out, but they allow this new government to enter to implement it. It has been on the pipeline all this while, since this year. That was why we had that initial artificial scarcity that we wrote, that escalated the pump price to 550. From 550 they reduced to 220. We say, okay, 220 is better. Before we know what is going on, they move it to 550. From 550, some drop to 520. NNPC was still selling 511. But when you go to any NNPC station, the kind of crowd you will see there, and we don't have any option that to patronize other independent marketer buying 530, 550, 520. But currently, now, the story has changed. Not changing for better, for worse. And tomorrow, the government will be complaining of medical doctor going abroad to go and practice there. Tomorrow, they will be complaining, we don't have people to do it. How do you expect to have people to work here when you are not providing enabling environment and conducive environment? You have never said anything on salary review. You have never. You have never. Minimum wage is still at 30,000 naira. But fuel keep on increasing on daily basis, on monthly basis. You have never implemented or have a benchmark, pay so people in job class so amount. Let it not be reduced or let it not go below this bar, both in private sector and government sector. You have not, and you forget that price of fuel affect everything in general. Those people that are still earning 30,000, 25,000, they pay transport, and transport has increased. The prices of foodstuff in the market will increase because you need petroleum to transport those things from the villages to the marketplace. Even the water we drink, you need fuel to drink water, because those who have borehole, they use fuel to pump power their generator to in order to pump water. Now the prices of sachet water will also increase, and tomorrow you will want the blessings from the heart of your citizenry. Although you are not feeling like God, you see yourself like God, whatever you say is what will happen. No challenge, no problem to that effect. But just know that what a man sows, he reaps. You are giving us undue pains. You are not treating us as your citizens. You are treating us as a third party. We love this country, we love Nigeria, and we believe and pray in Nigeria. And also, we believe in a better Nigeria. But this is not the change you promised us. You empower few youths so that you can use them to activate and exacerbate your evil intention on the masses at large. That's why few youth will come and say they are the owners of Nigeria. They will go as far as saying a lot of things that can equate to treasonable or felony, but nobody will care to arrest them or to call them to order. But those people who are not in your list of good people, once they say anything, they will be arrested by DSS or EFCC. What a word. Now the reality of that book written by Professor Chinua Achebe of blessed memory, in the year 1982, which read Problem with Nigeria. I have seen the reality of that book. I've seen the reality of the book that was written by Professor Chinua Achebe in the year 1982, Problem with Nigeria. Now you are looking at some people as minority, or you instead of giving us good governance, you are now looking for those that voted you in and those who didn't vote for you, or where your major contender during the election came from. Let me oppress people from that region, forgetting that Nigeria belonged to all of us. Nigeria did not belong to one tribe. Nigeria did not belong to one tribe. Neither did Nigeria belong to you, who is in the position of authority. You have given us a blueprint how your next 4 years or 8 years in office will look like. This is just 2 months. You have not even completed 2 months in office, and we are going through this hardship as your citizen. How will the next 6 months, 1 year, let alone 4 years be? And tomorrow, you'll be complaining of mass exodus of young people out of the country. You said we are leaders of tomorrow. Now we don't see tomorrow. You have denied us of tomorrow, let alone allowing us to think as leaders. You complain of cybercrime. Raise agencies to fight it. Now those agencies are being enriched through that cybercrime. Problem with Nigeria. If we continue like this, if we continue this way, the prophecy of Professor Chinua Achebe will one day come to pass. There was a country. There was a country. That prophecy will one day come to pass. You know, when all these educationists or academia wrote what they wrote in the past, we don't see them manifest. But now, all those things they saw and they wrote about, they are finding expression. Not only the academians, what of African China, who talk about lead us well? A politician will steal with billions of naira and Ghana must go. Even billion van these days, nobody will see their face on crime fighter. But a poor man that steal a cube of Maggi, they will publish his face on crime fighter. It's a pity. It's a pity. If you don't want to pity us, I know your children are not here. I know your generation next or yet to be born, they will not stay here. But do something that posterity and nature will have your name on the good book. Jonathan warned us for this. He said, a time will come that we will know what he's doing for us. We don't need to wait for a time. This is the reality of that time. This is the expression and fulfillment of that prophecy. It's a pity. Within 2 months in office, the pump price have changed twice. What will happen? Before December, we'll be buying fuel 1,000 naira per liter. But the good news is we have grown past that level. Despite how you want us to suffer so that you can use it to rule and oppress us, God is far better and higher in knowledge than man. We will survive it. No matter the pump price of petrol, we can still afford it. Take it to Jupiter. We'll go there and buy it. To your amazement, it will not end in your favor and it will not be the way you plan. Because you are not the giver of bread. He that gives bread will also make way for us to buy it. But just know that within 2 months, you have not completed the first 2 months in office. You have imposed undue hardship on your citizenry. What's come to us will devise a new means, and that new means will be a new means of transportation within time using bicycle. What's come to us? You just remove import duty and reduce exit duty. We are like, oh, open border. The same border and the same petrol that we are complaining about, that we are buying on a high price, is the same thing that we are shipping out of the country. Last time an immigration officer complained and did a video of tankers exporting fuel out of our border, and he was detained. He was detained. The same fuel we are exporting to other neighboring countries, we citizens of this country cannot afford to buy it because of what? Undue wickedness from our leaders who are in power and in position of authority. Undue wickedness. You swear oath of office, but this is not part of the oath of office you swear. You swear oath of office to give us a better life. This is not part of the better life you promised Nigerians. You may be God, but if you are God, you are not Almighty God. In His time, He makes all things beautiful. You may choose to do what you do so that nobody will ask or nobody will question your authority. But let me tell you, God allowed things to happen and nothing takes God unaware. Nigerians will not die in your dispensation. They will not die in your administration. If you want us to beg for food, no way. It will not happen. But hear my word and hear me well. Take it to Jupiter, we will buy it. And Nigerians will not suffer because we have you as leaders in the office. That is my own portion. Thank you. Signing out. You said we are leaders of tomorrow. Now we don't see tomorrow. You have denied us of tomorrow, let alone allowing us to think as leaders. You complain of cybercrime. Raise agencies to fight it. Now those agencies are being enriched through that cybercrime. Problem with Nigeria.